there, folks. Welcome again to the Nashville Lift Zone. I'm your host, DJ Rockwell. Today is Saturday, the 20th of August. We're headed on our way into town. The Tennessee Titans football game is, I think the fourth quarter just started, so hopefully I can make it there just in time to pick some people up in surge rates coming out of the game. I guess we're going to classify this as a LyftZone Confessions video. And the main reason for that is we are now running Uber. Yes, we got approved for Uber finally about a week ago. And we've been playing around with Uber, learning how the app runs. I'll be doing a video at some point here as I get more familiar with it. Kind of compare the Lyft app to the Uber app, what I like about each, what I don't like about each. And we'll get to that another time. But anyway, last night, Friday night, the 19th, it was mostly an Uber night. I was running both apps at the same time, and for the most part, Uber always dinged first. There was a few times where they both dinged simultaneously, and I kind of had to make a choice between one or the other. It really only took like 5 total Lyft rides for all of Friday night, from about 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. All the rest were Uber, so I didn't really make that much in tips. But out of those 5 Lyft trips, 3 of them did tip me. One of them tipped $5, so definitely like Lyft a bit better just because of the tips. But we're going to be running an experiment from pretty much now through next weekend of running both apps at the same time, and we're going to whichever one dings first. Now, I did have a couple interesting rides here last night, both on Uber and Lyft. You know, a lot of it was the standard Friday night bar crowd, you know, bar hopping from this bar to this bar. But I also got a couple long trips, going, you know, like 20 miles south of downtown, picking people up. And there was one that I picked up in downtown Nashville. This was about 2:30 a.m. last night. It was a couple, a guy and a girl. And they were both hungry, so they get in, you know, I look at where they're going, and it's a 20-mile trip. This one was an Uber trip, and they're hungry. So they're like, can we, you know, grab some food or something on the way out here? And I was like, sure, what are you in the mood for? And the girl's kind of, you know, being a typical woman, indecisive. Well, I'd like Taco Bell, or maybe a McDonald's, or no, Cookout, let's go to Cookout. So I looked, well, yeah, there's a Cookout about 1.5 miles, you know, down the road from downtown here, so we'll hit that before we, you know, get on the interstate. So we almost get to this Cookout, then she changes her mind. Big shocker, a woman changed her mind. And now she wants to go to IHOP. And there's an IHOP that was about halfway between where we were going. So we drive 10 miles down to the IHOP, and they're both like, you know, we're talking the whole time. They're real, you know, friendly. You know, they've been drinking, but they're, you know, they're responsibly drinking. They're not like, you know, sloppy drunks or anything. So on the way to this IHOP, they're like, hey man, we're gonna have to go, you know, this is, you know, another 10 miles past here to get to our house. So if you want to come inside IHOP with us, I'll buy you food. I'll buy whatever you want. And then you can take it, leave the meter running, take us on, you know, onto our house. So I'm thinking it's 2:30 in the morning, you know, by the, you know, when I picked them up. So it's, you know, a 20-minute ride there, 20-minute ride back. I'm not going to be able to get back to downtown for any more, you know, bar closing pickups. So yeah, I'll leave the meter running. And it was like a 1.2 surge. I think it wasn't too much, but there was a little bit of surge on there. So yeah, I'll leave the meter running, and so that's what we did. I got a, you know, a stack of 5 pancakes and a soda. You know, we had some good conversation while we were eating dinner, and then on the way back to their house, the Uber fare, or my cut of it, was like $25. Plus, I got $10 worth of free food, and able to get out of the car, stretch, use the bathroom, all while the meter's running. And granted, the, you know, per minute's not that much, but hey, it's better than nothing. So round trip, that took like an hour, but I made $25, got $10 worth of free food, 35 bucks. Not bad for an hour. Alright, now we're moving into some heavy rain. This is slowing me down. Another ride from last night that was pretty memorable was, and this was a short ride. This was over by the Opryland on the east side of town. And I picked up a group of people at a Waffle House at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Of course, they'd been, you know, drinking. They were, you know, eating waffles, the awful waffle. And they weren't going far. They were only going across the bridge to the Opryland hotels. There wasn't even a mile trip, but they got a real kick out of the fuzzy stash. And one of the girls was asking, what's your best dance move? And I was like, oh God, I haven't danced in years. It's like I used to, you know, back in my younger days, I used to be able to do the moonwalk okay. And she's like, all right, when we get out of the car, you're gonna blast some Michael Jackson and you're gonna do the moonwalk for us. And so that's what I did. We pull up to the hotel, we all get out. I pick out Michael Jackson's Beat It, turn the volume up pretty much all the way, and start doing the moonwalk for a minute or two. And all the while they're filming it, and they're like, oh my God, our Uber driver, this is our Uber driver, he's doing the moonwalk. And actually, before I'd even dropped them off, this is one nice thing I do like about Uber, is I'm still on this trip, taking them to where they go, but Uber dings in with another ride request at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel. So before I even drop them off, I've already got another ride, and he was going to the airport. So that's definitely one thing I like about Uber right there, is you can have another ride already waiting near your drop-off point before you even drop off. And it was kind of a weird night too. That wasn't the only people I picked up at a Waffle House. There was 2 other groups of people I picked up at Waffle Houses around the city, and then went to IHOP with one group. It's always really funny about, you know, the trends on each individual night. You know, the one night you may always, you know, you might get a lot of Waffle House pickups, or people going to Waffle House. You know, another night it's like all people going to the east side of town. Next night it's all people going to the west side of town. Some nights it's just bouncing back and forth like a ping pong ball between the Vanderbilt bars and the Broadway bars, which is only like 1.5 miles, 2 miles apart. And those are nice quick rides too. You just pick someone, drop someone off, pick them up, take them over to the Broadway bars, drop them off, pick someone else up, take them back over there. It's all weird like that. And really they were all pretty good rides, you know, all in all, but definitely do, at the current time, I do prefer Lyft over the Uber. I think the app is a lot easier, but Uber's got some real nice features on it, like being able to accept another ride before you've even dropped off the ride you already have. And plus there's the add destination feature, which that's real handy, because I can set the destination to wherever I'm going and try to pick someone up that's going that same direction. So one of these days this week, I'm gonna probably go to Nashville and set the destination for Murfreesboro, which is like 35-40 miles south, and see if I can get a ride that's going to Murfreesboro. And then once I get to Murfreesboro, reset the destination back to Nashville, see if I can just do get 2 really long rides there. It will only let you do that twice per day though. It's not like you can just keep setting the destination over and over and over and just try to get one long ride after the other. But more on that in a later future video here. But anyway, y'all have a great day. I'll check y'all again next time in the Nashville Lyft Zone. Might even be tomorrow morning, as I'm on my way home. But for now, let's go make that money. What? Alright folks, we'll fast forward many hours later. It's right now, it's 6 a.m. so last part of the video was 13 hours ago. So here's the conclusion to my Saturday night. Yeah, it was hugely profitable. I made a little over $300 since I recorded the first part of this video, which that's awesome. That's a great Saturday night. But man, the rainstorms last night were crazy. and it just kept raining off and on throughout the whole night, and just some, you know, absolute downpours, you know, white knuckle driving at its, you know, extreme. In fact, that Tennessee Titans game, they actually had to stop that for 30 minutes because there was so much lightning in the area before they could resume the game. But anyway, I was able to get right into downtown right about the time that Titans game was ending, and immediately got a ride request at like 150% prime time rate. And took them where they were going, came back, ended up getting another one at like 100%, and it was non-stop all night long, and I didn't take a single Uber ride. It was all Lyft. Total of like about 25 or 26 rides total. I'm not sure what I made in tips, but there was quite a few. I'll have to check that when I get home. I did get a couple cash tips, which was nice, always. And as usual, it wouldn't be a Saturday night without a bachelorette party in the car. We had actually 2 of those. And we also had a couple birthday girls. In fact, the very last ride here that I picked up at 5 a.m. here was coming out of downtown. I actually picked them right in the middle of downtown. It was one's birthday, and they'd been all out drinking, and they were actually headed all the way about 6 or 7 miles past the airport, so it was like a 20-mile ride. When we got off at their exit, there's a McDonald's right there, so we stopped there for them, ran through the drive-thru, and they bought me some breakfast. So gotta love that. You get those long rides plus free food. And it most of the rides I took were in some sort of primetime surge, either from 25%. I think the biggest one was one at 200%, which, especially when the bars closed between 2 and 3 a.m., surges were crazy. Primetime Lyft prices peaked out at 2:53 a.m. at 350%, and I was able to get a couple quick runs on that. They weren't going far, but when it's 300%, that's even a short ride is like a $15 fare. And then I love those because then you can get right back into downtown, pick up somebody else at another surge rate. And out of all those rides, every single one of them was a talker except for one. There was only one ride, one girl that just kind of sat in the back and, you know, listened to the music and played with her phone. Here comes the rain again. Yeah, and by the way, all that noise in the first part of this video from last night was the rain coming down. But yeah, I pretty much bounced all over Nashville, just picking up rides left and right. Very, very little downtime when I didn't have a ride request that where someone was in the car or I was heading to pick someone up. I even met when I had stopped for gas a couple hours ago out at the airport gas station, which if you live in Nashville, Shell station at the airport, or really any of the gas stations out by the airport, they're some of the cheapest gas in town. There's a couple that are cheaper, but the airport ones are nice and cheap, especially since when we get to the time of morning when it's time for me to get gas, that's when I'm usually doing airport runs, so I can get a run to pay for my way up to the airport to get gas. But anyway, when I was at the gas station, the Shell station, I was sitting there pumping gas, and had another guy that was a real friendly fella. He said he was going to look it up on YouTube, so big shout out to you, man. His name is Kevin. How you doing, Kevin? I really enjoyed talking to this guy, and he was asking me a whole bunch of questions, you know, kind of how Lyft and Uber works, you know, more or less. And even gave him one of my promo cards with a code on it because he has Uber, but he said he didn't have Lyft. So I was like, here, man, take the card, use the code, get some free ride credit. So all in all, it was the perfect kind of Saturday night that you want, where it's just non-stop busy. I mean, pretty much the whole time. I didn't even have time to turn the Uber app on. Yeah, great night, great memories, a lot of moolah in my pocket. And I've been talking, thank you for those of you who've been leaving some comments. A couple of you have actually been exchanging some emails. And I've got some videos specifically coming out for you. One of the ones requested was a video on how to deal with some social anxiety as a driver. So I'm planning that one. That's probably at least a couple days away, maybe a week away. I don't know. I've got to do a little research on that before I can properly give you a video on it. And I've also been connecting with some of you good folks that are in Nashville as drivers. And one of the things that you Nashville folks have been specifically requesting are some tip videos on specifically about driving in Nashville. So those are coming. You know, the Nashville, driving in Nashville in general, how to drive in downtown. So there'll be at least you know, a couple of videos on that coming out, and probably one really long one where I just kind of go through the complete A to Z walkthrough of how to drive in Nashville. So be sure to keep your eyes out for that. Yeah, and that's going to take a little time because there's a lot of information to cover. So be on the lookout for that coming probably a week. But anyway, thanks for watching, folks. Y'all have a great day. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this channel. I've been your host, DJ Rockwell, the DJ who wears no pants. No pants. Yeah, people love this thing, man. But anyway, y'all have a great day. I'll check y'all again next time in the Nashville Lift Zone. And don't you go changing.